actions of Iran have shocked the civilized world.
Let's go! Shred everything!
Our embassy has been seized and more than 60 American citizens continue to be held as hostages.
If we're going to go, then we need to go now.
What happened?
6 of the hostages went out a back exit.
Where are they?
The Canadian ambassador's house.
Hi everybody, I'm Tim Estiloz for Boston Latino TV, speaking with one of my truly favorite directors in Hollywood, actor-director Ben Affleck, about his new film, Argo, coming to theaters soon. First of all, welcome back to Boston again.
Thank you very much. Always good to be home. It's rare now that I get to get back unless I'm working, so I really like it.
You know, this new film, Argo, is one of your biggest films to date. It's very ambitious. It takes a real-life event that's almost unbelievable. How much of a challenge was it for you as a director to bring this effectively to the screen?
Well, as you point out, it was definitely the biggest undertaking of the 3 films that I directed, and you know, in scope, it was multinational, multi-locations in the U.S. There were a lot of different tones. You know, we had thousands of extras. I felt like I was making Ben-Hur, you know, at one point. But it was very satisfying because I had the opportunity to work with really gifted people, really great actors, Alan Arkin, John Goodman, Bryan Cranston, and a great script.
You got Revolutionary Guards going door to door. These people die. They die badly.
White House?
Who wants the 6 of them out?
What we like for this are bicycles.
Deliver the 6 bikes, provide them with maps.
Or you could just send in training wheels and meet them at the border with Gatorade.
It's gonna take a miracle to get them out.
Now, a lot of your films like The Town and Gone Baby Gone, they've been very Boston-centric, a little bit smaller in scope. This is international in scope. What was it about this story that appealed to you most as a director?
Well, for one thing, I didn't want to do another Boston movie right away. I'd like to keep shooting and working in Boston for a long time, but I don't want to get pigeonholed as a guy who can only work in Boston. What appealed to me really was just the story. I studied the Middle East. It's an area that I've been interested in. It has a kind of humor that really appeals to me. I always liked all the President's Men, the Redford Hoffman movie. I wanted to make the CIA sort of feel like that newsroom.
I got an idea.
They're a Canadian film crew for a science fiction movie.
I fly into Tehran. We all fly out together as a film crew. I need you to help me make a fake movie.
So there were a lot of elements that just came out and made me say, God, I've always wanted to do this. And when there were so many of them, it just seemed like a no-brainer.
So you want to come to Hollywood and act like a big shot without actually doing anything?
Yeah.
You'll fit right in. You need a script?
Argo, science fantasy adventure.
Moonscape, Mars, desert.
They need an exotic location to shoot.
You need a producer.
If I'm doing a fake movie, it's going to be a fake hit.
You don't have a better bad idea than this?
This is the best bad idea we have, sir. By far.
Now, you play a character in this film by the name of Tony Mendez, and a lot of your fans don't realize that you speak Spanish very well. So I have to ask you, en español, ¿dónde aprendiste el español y cuándo?
Aprendí español en México, donde viví por un año cuando tuve 13 años, pero creo que no hablo muy bien, un poquito sí, más o menos.
Well, what was it like for you at the age of 13 traveling around Mexico and learning Spanish like that?
Espectacular. Un país muy linda, la gente, just, I mean, Mexico in 1986 was like paradise on earth. I was in the Yucatan, I was in Oaxaca and Mérida, and then I went down to Cobán, and Tulum, and Palenque, and then to Ciudad and Cuernavaca, and it was like still undiscovered, you know. Now it's a little bit of the like Playa de Miami, you know, and some of these places like Cancun. But then it was this wonderful, quiet place where you could sneak away and live, you know, in La Selva or in La Playa, or, you know. I remember we were in Playa del Carmen. We rented hammocks for $1 a night. It was great. I love it. I love Mexico. It's a wonderful country.
You got 6 people hiding out in the town of what? 4 million people, all of whom chant death to America all the livelong day. You want to set up a movie in a week. You want to lie to Hollywood, a town where everybody lies for a living. Then you're going to sneak 007 over here into a country that wants CIA blood on their breakfast cereal, and you're going to walk the Brady Bunch out of the most watched city in the world.
That's about 100 militia at the airport. That's right.
This film, it's got so many layers to it. You've got a little bit of comedy, you've got certainly a lot of thrilling aspects to it. It was a big balancing act for you.
Argo, science fantasy adventure.
It's a turnaround.
Can we get the option?
Why do we need the option?
You're worried about the Ayatollah? Try the WGA.
How did that make you a better director, do you think?
Well, it required more skill, definitely. I mean, one of the hardest things to do, I think, in directing is tone and mood and taste. And so having like multiple different ways of telling the story in the middle throughout meant that if I didn't tie them together, it was going to feel like 3 separate short films.
Aliens and robots?
Yes, sir.
You're telling me that there is a movie company in Hollywood right now that is funded by the CIA?
Yes, sir.
And I really gained a lot of appreciation, or even more appreciation, I should say, for movies like Crash or Traffic, where they're weaving together these stories. Granted, you know, those are a little bit more connected, perhaps. These were really disparate, and I think the only way that I was able to be successful was because the acting was so good, and because they all felt like real people doing real things.
What's your date of birth?
February 21st, 1952.
Good. What's your job on the movie?
Producer.
Associate producer. What's the last movie you produced?
High and Dry.
Who paid for that?
CFTC.
What's your middle name? What's your middle name? What's your middle name?
Leon?
Shoot him. He's an American spy.
You know, we're all comfortable and familiar with the notion that the world is different, it's a different place. You see all kinds of things. As long as we feel that it's real and grounded, I think we're willing to give the benefit of the doubt.
You're asking us to trust you with our lives.
This is what I do, and I've never left anyone behind.
They know who they are, and they know they're hiding out.
It's over, Tony.
Final quick question. Are you surprised at how relevant this film is 30 years ago as what's happening today?
I think it's too bad. It's a shame, you know, that this movie is still relevant, that we're still locked in this sort of cold conflict with this country. I think it's a shame that this country is still, Iran is still run by these mullahs, by Khamenei, who is the successor to Khomeini. And they probably have 10 or 15% support in their country, and so they have to hold on with an iron fist. And I think that makes me sad, and the prospect that seems to be hanging over the air of war certainly makes me scared. You know, I didn't realize how relevant it was going to be when we started making it, but came the Arab Spring, and this idea of the unintended consequence of revolution really played out in Tunisia and Egypt and Syria now. So would that it were not so relevant, but unfortunately it is.
Well, you've done a great job with this film.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure meeting you again and also seeing this film. And I want to tell everyone, go out and see Argo when it opens up in early October. We're talking with actor-director Ben Affleck about his new film, Argo. And I'm Tim Estiloz for Boston Latino TV.
If they stay here, they will be taken. Probably not alive.
We're responsible for these people. I'm responsible.
You really believe your little story is going to make a difference when there's a gun to our heads?
I think my little story is the only thing between you and a gun to your head.